Hello there and welcome back to CFO Conversations. I'm your host Paula Kensington, and today I welcome back into the studio Sue Rosen, a good friend of ours.
Thanks Paula, great to be here.
So today we're going to talk about purpose, and more importantly around purpose in teams and organisations. We've had a conversation earlier about individuals, and this is more about how do you bring individuals together as a team and more importantly as an organisation. It drives performance, it drives so many positives. So why aren't we doing it?
Oh, Paula, that's a big question. So I think we've had a very conventional mindset around, especially in finance teams, around our understanding of economics and finance and being very task focused and understanding that if I want somebody to do X, I pay them this, and it's very transactional. And the move to being a more purpose-driven team or organisation is helping people understand that we're all there to serve an end consumer or user of our product or service, and enabling people to come together around that sense of higher purpose allows us to be more collaborative. If we all have an understanding of why we're there, what we're trying to achieve, it enables people to come together and work together more.
Yeah, and we spoke earlier about having those energizers, those accelerators in the team. So if you're someone watching this and you know that you've got clarity and awareness around your purpose, but you might not be the leader of the finance team, I still think it's your role and responsibility to take that purpose and build it into the team.
Yeah, so I think some of these are conversations that are the difference between leadership residing in a title and leadership residing in a person who wants to make change, activate purpose, bring people together, empower and inspire other people, which is really at the heart of leadership. And if we can bring people together around what we're all there to do, we can actually drive our decision making based on our sense of purpose. So there are a couple of organisations out in the world very known for this, such as Patagonia, the outdoor clothing manufacturers, who really, basically their message is, don't buy more of our stuff because that's not good for the planet. So they're very much about quality, and their purpose drives their strategy in regard to their sustainability, their supply chain, procurement, how you market to your consumers. And once we start to have that level of a sense of purpose, it can absolutely determine strategy and decision making.
Yeah. And I think we're going back to values and purpose. And so to me, when I think back in my career, these were words that we never heard of before. But as a finance team, I think that's talking about business partnering. How can we possibly help others outside of our finance team if we're not actually together and in that team environment? So it's almost like we've got to not heal ourselves. I mean, we're not broken, but we've got to kind of sort of get ourselves together, and we understand what the drivers are and why we're doing it. It's not just about closing month end and transaction reporting. You said this before. It's really, how do we lift ourselves into being transformational rather than transactional?
Absolutely. It's about a shift in mindset, and that shift comes from understanding that everything is not just about the transaction right here and now, but actually connecting on a more human level. It's about, as a leader, learning to lead with both our head and our heart so that we can connect with people, bring them together and empower them, so that if everybody is understanding what they're working towards, it enables them to be more self-directed, more autonomous, because they understand what they're trying to achieve. And I think that can make an enormous difference and absolutely lift the performance of a team.
Yeah, totally. It's a bit like getting on a train where you don't know the destination. It's a bit like, why would I get on this train if I don't know where it's going? It's a lot easier to get on the right train if you know where it's going, and you can actually help really drive that improvement in business performance.
Yeah, and I think that's right. There is a real key to business performance here. This is about creating a virtuous cycle of people getting more fulfillment because they feel more emotionally connected with both the work and their teammates, and that driving them to want more of that, so they actually will go above and beyond in order to deliver that. And as leaders, part of the mindset shift is moving away from me as the technical expert who's expected to know everything. As we move into these areas that are more uncertain and ambiguous, with greater complexity, that actually I'm not about knowing everything, I'm about learning all the time, and actually how can I learn from the people around me, how can we be more transparent and share more, because there's huge amounts of wisdom out there in our teams that we're not tapping into currently.
Yeah, and I heard something earlier this week about wisdom comes from questions and not from answers. So, it's not about knowing everything, and really bringing that unknowing mind is really valuable. So as accountants, as finance leaders, be comfortable that you've got your qualification and you've got your platform, then actually ask yourself, what is it that I don't know? So bringing that curious mind, I think, is really important.
Yeah, that certainly is.
Thanks, Sue. It was a great one.
Great.